Hey traders, Jason here from Levitt Brothers. So in this video, I'm going to talk about trading the short side with a few technical indicators, okay? Specifically RSI, MACD, and Stochastic. In my masterclass, I have an entire section on each one of these indicators, what they are, how to use them. Of course, they work on the long side and the short side on all time frames. So it's like once you master them, or at least get pretty good at them, they apply to pretty much everything. Okay, so I'm going to go through some ideas here, walk you through how I use them, just to serve as examples. If you find this interesting, if you see something here that like, hey, this is how I can operate, it kind of, it fits my personality, it fits how my brain operates. Consider my masterclass. One trade pays for the entire class, and of course, then it lasts you the rest of your life. All right, let's get into some examples here. All right, so first up, here's Dell. This is the 1 hour chart. And what I'm going to specifically talk about in all these examples is just a sequence where you have a strong stock that's moving up, but then you have a move down which is strong enough to start the process of reversing the trend. Then there's a counter move, which is an attempt to continue the trend, but that fails, and then we have a resumption of the new trend going down. All right, so that's pretty much the pattern that I'm going to talk about in all of these charts. All right, so specifically what happens here in Dell, this is again the 1 hour chart. We get a pretty good move down here, and during that move down, we get, I should probably mark this up here. This is the RSI, in the middle is the MACD, on the bottom is the Stochastic. Okay, so during the move down, what happens is the RSI breaks the trend line. Okay, and you can see there the MACD crosses down, and the Stochastic was already trending lower. You can see those circles approximately line up. Now, okay, so that's the first move. Then there's a counter move back up. But during the counter move, notice that the MACD does not cross back up, and the counter move lasts just long enough for the Stochastic to cycle up to the top and then roll over again. And then at the same time as that, the RSI simply flags and then breaks down. Okay, so you get what I call a kiss over here with the MACD across here, and the RSI breaks down, and that is an official continuation of a mini move down. And for this one, you're talking about an entry in the low 130s, and the stock drops to 115. That's a solid trade. Let's go to the next one. Here's Mara. This is also the 1 hour chart. All right, so stock moves up here. This move down is big enough, has enough force, has enough energy that the RSI breaks the trend line here. MACD crosses down here. Stochastic was already trending lower here. Then we get this attempt to move back up. But during that attempt, the MACD does not cross back up. It fails to move up. Okay, and then the RSI just simply flags here and eventually breaks down. Okay, so you get the kiss over here with the MACD. Stochastic can't even get up to the top. It crosses, and at the same time, or approximately at the same time, you have the RSI breaks down, and then that becomes your continuation. Okay, so you could argue that this is a pretty good stock off the low. It's consolidating. It's going to draw some. You can draw some pattern in here. And you're going to think like, hey, it's going to break out to the upside. But the whole key here is when it attempts to rally here, the MACD cannot cross back up. The RSI does not rotate back up to overbought area. And that's a warning that the indicators are rejecting the attempt to move higher. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, here's Palantir. So first of all, we have strong move out of a base here. You can draw lines. If you draw chart patterns, this could be considered an ascending triangle pattern. Now let's zoom in here. So on this move down here, it was big enough to cause this to break down, and then the RSI came out of a high there. Okay, moved up, moved down, tried to break out here, but during that time, the MACD did not cross up. On this rally attempt here, it didn't cross up. Then on the breakout to a new high, it again did not cross up. Okay, and while that was taking place, the RSI also didn't make much progress to the upside. It just simply flagged going sideways. Okay, so the price moved up here, but the indicators rejected the price movement. And then you get the RSI breaks down here, the MACD kisses here, the stochastic curls over there, and then you get a move down. And then there are other moves here as the stock drops. You have this flags sideways, okay? And so that breaks down there. You get a kiss there. You get a cross there. So there are continuation shorts along the way. All right, next up. Here's Ross Stores. Okay, this move here is big enough, strong enough, has enough energy to cause the RSI to break down through a trend line. The MACD crosses down, and you can see this starts to expand, so the distance between the moving averages is growing, and the stochastic had already curled over and was trending down. Then during this basing period, which could very easily, in a lot of cases, this is just a base in order to support a move up. But if it was going to support a move up, you'd have the MACD start to cross up and other improvements with the indicators. But instead, what happened is the RSI simply flagged here. And so eventually the RSI broke down through a trend line. We got a kiss here, cross here, cross here. So this could have been just, pull back off the high, consolidate, and then move up. But the indicators were telling us that wasn't going to happen because the MACD remained trending down. Stochastic rolled over twice, and then RSI failed to move back up. So the indicators told us probably the next move is going to go down, and as you can see what happened, 145 down into the 120s. Again, really, really good trade. Next up, Uber. So here we got, strong stock moving up, had done really well. This move down here is your counter move that gets the ball rolling, okay? So we have a break of support here, okay? So the RSI breaks the trend line, MACD crosses down, stochastic rolls over. Then you get this counter move here, but during the counter move, MACD fails to cross back up. The counter move lasts just long enough for the stochastic to cycle up and then roll over. So here's my kiss, here's my cross, trend continues. All right, one more. So here's XLE, the energy ETF. This move down here was enough to cause the RSI to break down. We got a little bit of a divergence here with like lower highs here, higher lows there, and eventually that crosses down. Stochastic was already crossing down. Okay, then we have this counter move here, tries to resume the uptrend, but during that counter move, MACD does not cross back up. Stochastic does not, the stochastic simply cycles back up to the top and then rolls over. And during that time, the RSI simply flags a little bit and then eventually breaks down. Okay, so there's a move down that gets the ball rolling. There's an attempt to continue the overall trend, but during that attempt, the indicators reject it and signal that the next move is likely to be down. Okay, so again, in my masterclass, I spend an entire section on each one of these indicators. Then I combine them and talk about trading strategies. This of course works long and short. It works on every time frame. All you have to become a good trader, all you got to do is master like one particular setup and just practice, get good at that, and you can ignore everything out there and just get good at one thing. So maybe this is it. Okay, check out my masterclass. Hope you got something out of this. I'll see you next time.